Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Chess and welcome back to another discussion. Today is day number 182. It means that we are halfway through the entire series of 1 year 365. So, yeah, that's basically half the progress, right? Because it's 365 and then we start at 0. So the middle one is about 182.5, but for the sake of what is it called, like a rounding number, I'm just gonna put it into the 182, and that's about it. So the next one will be 183, and the next one will have something that I want to talk about later on. um 365, it's not really a long time if you ask me, but it really feels like, at least in 2022, right? We have the January, and then suddenly we are at March, and then suddenly we are at May, and then I thought that, hmm, this is the second anniversary of my channel. What about I do something? What about I talk about podcasts, right? I like discussion, I like to discuss a lot of stuff. Why don't I create a podcast, right? And then yeah, I agree, like that sounds like a great idea, right? So what are we going to talk then? Well, seeing about everyone's podcast, they're kind of, most of the one that I know of or I'm aware of, they talk about a lot of stuff, right? Basically anything. So there is no limit into your discussion, right? So I kind of want to be like that as well, because for one, it is a free talk, right? Everyone in the comments, everyone that may or may not be with you, can have different opinions, right? And yeah, sometimes opinion does matter and sometimes it doesn't, but at the end of the day, it's still a discussion, right? And the reason why is because I really like to discuss something as well. And yeah, just if you ask me, I really like a type where we are seeing things from different perspective, right? At least that's what I am and that's what I do. I see things from different perspective, like, um, I see it from here, I see it from here, I see it from here, I see it from anywhere, from behind, from forward. I see things from different angle, right? I try to, I try to be open mind, right? Open-minded person, basically. Well, I guess I am, and yeah, it's just interesting to see stuff from different sides. So you have, more stories into it, right? You have more views, right? It means you can always get the thing that, you know that it is a good thing, you know that it's a bad thing, good thing from whose perspective or perspective, it's bad from whose perspective, right? And seeing, understanding their difference, you can kind of came up with something in the middle, right? To put them, you know at the end of the day, not really at the end of the day, but more like, whatever the problem is, whatever the discussion is, whatever the trouble is, there must be one absolute point that intersects with everyone discussion, right? And I guess, yeah, at the end of the day, people can agree on to something, right, at one thing. And I feel like that's the goal for me anyway. A lot of discussions, a lot of opinions, but um, at least out of those perspective, we can kind of see one spot that everyone can see. Can see the same, right? And that's probably the most difficult thing to do, honestly. Making everyone see something the same, right? Like, let's say. Um, like, I don't know, I don't really want to give an example because things are, um I'm kind of afraid now, right? Because when I say something and then, um I don't know, like, I guess I'm kind of tell about this as well. So recently, at the time I'm recording this, I got one warning from YouTube. So one of my video got, I guess, removed or strike or something like that. It got removed, right? Because I said something there that I didn't mean to say it from their perspective, right? I meant to say it, um, I don't know. I kind of describe a point in the video, right? And then I guess the AI or someone reported. I'm not sure, but there is like a claim that I made, right? But it's not my claim. It's an article, right? It's from Wikipedia. It has citations. It is a thing that happened. So basically, I'm just reporting what's there, right? Like, if you're a reporter in the TV, right? You're the reporter. You just report stuff that's already mentioned in your paper, right? It's already in points, and then you just read that, right? Now, I am in this position as well. I read stuff and then I kind of give description or to make things more clear, right, about that. And that's the problem, right? Because one of the paragraph, it's about something. Right? It's about medical issue, and it's about claiming that some people believe into something and there is that to it. So I just mentioned about that, and then I give some like description about how the people probably think about that, right? And saying that it's a bad idea, and that thing got the whole topic got warned, right? The content got removed. um, and ironically again, the topic is about it's about the 666 video. Basically, it's the video in which I was curious about where did the number 666 come from, right? Why was it associated with spooky stuff, right? What's the origin of it? That's the whole question that I had, right? And then I searched. There's an article that explained where it was. So basically, it came from I think from Europe, if I remember correctly. There's like a thing in which it got mentioned. It was not 666, it was 616 actually, and because of transliteration, it got into 666, right? And then there is a lot of example there, in current society where people think about it. And there you go, that's one of the problem is over there as the example, a group of people thinking about something about magic, right? And then and it's a little bit of the current pandemic. Basically, I'm sure I can say that about the current pandemic, right? And they make some claims there. They made some claim there, and then the Wikipedia just mentioned that, right? That thing happened. So I'm just reporting stuff, basically, right? So yeah, me saying that, that's the problem, right? Because I say it, therefore it's my fault. I can just skip that part entirely, and I think I cut already. Yeah, I think I cut already that part. So if you rewatch that, it's not gonna be there anymore. So that it doesn't create any more trouble in the future, right? But that's about it, basically. Um, like yeah, there is that. So I guess, like, back to the perspective and my goal. Um, Everyone can have different opinion, but I feel like there must be a point in the middle, right? In which it got intersected by all of these opinion, and then people can agree onto something, right? So let's say over here, let's say something that is not really controversial, but what about that? Okay, let's agree on to something. If you're thirsty, then you should drink, right? Now, this is an, like a general opinion, right? Not really opinion, it's more like fact, right? Um, so that everyone can agree. If you're thirsty, then drink, right? I feel like this point, everyone from different perspective can always agree on this, right? Like, can always agree on this. I would say, like, whenever you're thirsty, then just drink, right? Although there will be like some people that doesn't disagree with this, with certain situation, right? Like, let's say if you're Muslim and then you fasting, right? If you're fasting, you cannot drink, right, during the middle of the day. So if you're thirsty, then you cannot drink still, right, because it's in the middle of the day and you're fasting. So you cannot drink, right? But here I mentioned this as general, right, in general. So generally speaking, if you're thirsty, then you drink, right? And without any other certain condition, and for that, I believe then everyone can just agree on to that, right? Now that's really a simple thing, and as you can see, there's always like that in its own people can still disagree, right, for some reason that they make, right? What if this, what if that, what if this, what if that, then that sentence, that thing can be disagreed upon, right? So yeah, but generally speaking, it's true, right? It's still true, everyone can agree on, if you're thirsty then you drink, right? Not, if you're thirsty then you sleep. So that's probably, some people will, most people will disagree, right? So yeah, anyway, there's that, right? So that's like the goal, whatever the opinion, whatever the perspective is from, I feel like for everything there must be one point in the middle in which it can settle everything, right? Like basically, and for every trouble there is a way out, right? uh, well, most of the time I believe anyway, but yeah. Anyway, there's that. That's like basically why I want to start discussion, right? Yeah, like discussion topic basically. Well, especially since I don't really do anything at the moment, I I guess at this point you can say that I give up trying. Uh, I'm not really giving up just yet. I will never actually. I'm thinking about something else. So well, obviously it's about the job, right? So this is what's currently happening in my life. It's about the job. I'm still not having anything, right? I keep mentioning about this in video every now and then about talking about like a interview, and then about I'm about to try to roll for this, try to what is it like, um, apply for certain stuff, and then see how it goes, right? But the thing is that all of them, well, at the moment I'm recording this, all of them got no end, right? There is no end to that. It's either I got rejected, either I got ghosted. They didn't reach out to me at all. Maybe it got automatically removed by the system. I'm not sure, but I never actually managed to reach that, right? Therefore, I'm still here because I'm still not in the having job region, right? So I kind of want to make this into some sort of like I guess skill, if you can mention about it as well, if you can call it that. I'm not entirely sure, but here I would say that I came from a place that doesn't speak English as their first language, right? Not even their second as well. English is like third language, right? This is English over here. This is obviously the national language, and then the second one is the regional, right? So every region has their own language, and there's that. And then English is just optional. It's in the third, right? However, I feel like since I was kid, I got the privilege. Again, I already mentioned about this as well, that my parents, like gave me stuff in English, right? Everything like cartoon, book, and then everything, right? Like most of them, they have some sort of English into it, right? Therefore, since I'm not in the school, since I was not even in school, I already uh, practice English my own, right? Like from the cartoon, for example, they just talk in English, right? I don't know what that means, but that is the literation, the translation as the subtitle, so I can kind of understand a little bit. Well, by a little bit, I mean like 1%, right, of the thing that, because at the point, I don't really know what they are talking about. I don't know how to write the things that they talk, and stuff like that, right? And then there is the book as well. Like there is so many books that um, has some sort of English in it as well, right? And then also from games as well. Obviously, since I was kid, I play games like a lot of computer games, right? Because I had the PC. I think it was like Windows 95. Like that's like the first one that we had at that time, and then 96. And then it got upgraded, right? Until now, I have the Windows 10 basically. So yeah, like even when I was kid, I like to play game a lot, and you know how it is. Game all was made uh by foreign people, right? And yeah, we got that game, and we just have to deal with the English, right? So from that point as well, I also learned a lot of stuff, right, in English. And yeah, I feel like this is, I can call this as privilege. I would say that I got privilege of learning English since I was kid, right? So yeah, I think that can be considered as privilege, especially when I'm coming from a region that doesn't have English as their first or second language, right? Um, so yeah, even I'm still learning at the moment. I see some comments about people as well that talk. This is not how you pronounce things. This is how you should pronounce things and stuff like that. And yeah, it's kind of helping me actually. So thank you for that. Keep coming with that comments, I guess, so that I can improve my English a little bit better, right? And yeah, so that's the privilege that I have. That's the thing that I ask, right? What is in me that I feel like no one else, not really no one else, but more like most people don't have, and then the thing that is literally in front of me, right? The thing that always with me, every time, the things that's always with me since then, right? So yeah, I think about that, and then I realized something, right? It's about English, right? So I was kind of gifted, I was blessed, I was because my parents gave me a lot of English things, right? So I learned by accident, I would say, right? Since I was kid, and then I also got into English courses as well since I was elementary school, and then middle school, and then high school as well. And then in my university since 2015, I'm not in any English course. However, the university itself, like the textbook, the everything, right? Everything is in English. So I also learn English by that, right? Uh, Therefore, even I'm not in English courses, I still learn English in uni, right? And until now, right? And then I decided to again like watch YouTube as well, and a lot of people talk in English. And at first, I already mentioned about this as well, but I'm gonna mention again. Like at first, I turn on the subtitle, right? I turn on the subtitle and to my language, right? So people say something and then there's the translation. And then I turn off the subtitle and try to understand what they are talking. It was difficult at first, and then later on it kind of makes sense, right? And yeah, also with the subtitles, I have the subtitle translated into my language, and then like, so basically here, this is the English person speaking English, not English person, but more like the YouTubers saying things in English, right? So I put CC on my language, right? My language, and then after some time I put the CC on English, so that I know what they're talking, matching with the text, right? And then after that I disable the subtitle, and then yeah, from then I just learn English fully. I can pretty much now understand like 90% of what people are saying. If they are talking English, I can understand them, and it's just a matter of how I like give the feedback, right? Because people say something, I understand, and I want to make response, right? So yeah, I give out response, but obviously it's in English, and I should make it so that people can understand what I'm broadcasting, right? Or what I'm saying. And that's with this channel as well. um, I say stuff in English, right? Also, like a lot of people also commented like recently that about something, right? About something that I talk, and I'm glad that actually people interact with me. It means that some of people actually understand what I'm saying, right? And that's a good thing. It means that it's working for me. I'm improving, right? And yeah, I'm really glad about that. So I'm going to use this like pretty much these English things um for my channel from like from the point I'm starting and to the future, right? To the God knows when this will end, right? Um, yeah, there's that. Also, okay, I want to say something as well about a thing I kind of forgot already. Oh God. Okay, so I want to use this, right? So yeah, there's that. And oh, also, yeah, here we go. I'm also interested in some stuff, right? Some jobs, because I think about it this way: if I cannot find any job in my country, what if I found job, you know, outside my country, right? So that's the thing that I'm actually trying to do right now. I try to find job that is outside my country. Maybe people outside can appreciate me more than people, in my country. Hopefully that's like the plan, right? And to do that, sometimes you need to prove yourself that you are that you know English, right? So with this channel, then I can have proof, right? That I have a YouTube channel. You can check for yourself that I can speak English, right? You can pretty much pick any random video from the starting point and the video that's about the recent, right? And you can see how I improve, right? So this is pretty much a proof that I can show to if I want to apply for international job, right? And yeah, I think about some stuff as well. I'm not sure if I should mention it or not. I don't think I will. So yeah, basically, I kind of want to work with some other YouTubers as well, right? So yeah, that's about it basically. But the condition or the qualifier is, or the requirement is that obviously for me to be able to speak English, right? And then be able to have creative things, and that I kinda do with in the channel with the podcast, right? So I discuss a lot of stuff, right? So it means that I can be creative about discovering lots of topics, right, to mention, right? So yeah, that can be a little bit of a point as well. So yeah, sorry, I just burp. um so yeah, there's that, right? And I feel like that can be a good point. So yeah, I'm just basically building this channel so that maybe if I'm lucky, I can get job internationally, right? Like I said, maybe some people outside can appreciate me more than the people in my country, right? Because again, I think I already mentioned about this as well, that the problem about getting job in my country is that, for one, the payment is not that great, I would say. Um, well, obviously that's everything with all the new people, right? Like, obviously, if you got your first job, then it should not be that high, right? You improve as time progressed, right? I can understand that. The thing is that. Um, I think that's not the matter here. The matter is that the competition, right? The competition with other people as well. A lot of people. Every time I got into job and then got into the not discussion but more like interview, there's so many people, right? Like they invite me. Most of the employer, they invited me through email, right? And then in the email they mentioned the CC, right? So it was at my email, and then at someone else, at someone else, at someone else, and then 20 plus more people, right? And then just randomly I check what the name, because usually people use their real name, right, when applying job. um, they put their real name, so I googled or searched for their name, right? And then there, it's always connected to their LinkedIn profile, right? And then I look at their profile. Their profile is very great, right? They have a lot of experience, they have a lot of basically a lot of understanding in the job they are applying, right? So yeah, also their background study is also great. They won a lot of competition, like yeah, like having the first prize, award for some competition, right? And then their grades also high, but that and the thing is that happened to every other people as well. Like I searched their ad, right? Like most of them, and it's always lead to the same thing. Like their LinkedIn profile, they have stuff right in there, and a lot of great stuff, right? And I feel a little bit not confident, right? Because I don't have any background. I do have some, but like even the I guess the company that I was in, for what is it, like uh, oh, what's that again? What's that called when you work for short period of time? In intern, right? Yeah, as an intern, right? I got into intern in some sort of company, and then later on the company open recruitment, right? And then I tried to apply with having my background as the intern, right? And that still got rejected by the company, right? So I got rejected by the company that had me as their intern, right? So how ridiculous is that, right? Um, so yeah, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I did something wrong there. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like if you ever had like history in a certain job, I guess, especially from the same company, I feel like you would have a little bit of plus point, right? Like again, I'm not HR, so I don't know, I don't understand any of this. If you are, then maybe you have the defense for that, right? Maybe someone else pay you, right? Like just be real here, right? Maybe someone else bribe you, right? Maybe, right? I'm not sure. I'm not gonna make any claim, but yeah, you can say whatever you want. I can also say whatever I want, right? I feel like it is going that way, but I'm not sure, right? So yeah, I guess there's that, and then yeah, like basically there's that as well. Yeah, like basically I make this so that I can have some sort of, if I want to try to apply like abroad, it means that I can have something, right? So maybe I can link them to this as well, to show if I can speak English, to show that I have, like I have, what is it called? Like the willingness, right? The determination, basically, right? And yeah, that's about it, basically. Well, obviously, if the YouTube channel itself is growing more than my desire into seeking for job like this, then I will, because I have this right now, why don't I just make this into something, right? And that's also what I'm trying to do right now, making it possible that I can earn some income from YouTube as well, right? I know it's a little bit of what is it like? It's a little bit of a difficult thing to do, right? Especially when um, today, if you want to be the partner at least in the YouTube, you need to have a certain amount of sub and certain amount of watch hour, right? And I feel like that's a little bit restricting to me, honestly. Like yeah, so I looked at my social blade basically, and there it says that I'm making something, right? And that in its own, if like right now my channel got monetized and I got something, even only like a fraction, right? Only very tiny income, right? That actually will help me. That I will consider that actually as a lot, right? Like a one is better than zero, right? So yeah, it doesn't have to be like like put how many zero you want behind one, right? One already is bigger than zero, and I appreciate that, but the thing is that it doesn't work like that right now. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult, right, for me to reach that to climb that mountain. I would say that in YouTube itself, if I go into this mountain over here, I'm over here, right? Here is the first time I will get a paid, right? And then obviously after there's a bigger mountain, right? To maintain that and then, to keep increasing, right? But for me, from the step from the ground to this state over here, it really took a long time, honestly. And yeah, obviously I need to make better content, right? It means that my content is bad, right? But recently actually I played a game. It's called The Art Survival, and a lot of people actually enjoy that, and a lot of people actually subscribing, and I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm like insert shocked surprised Pikachu face or something like that, right? I was quite shocked that um I believe I was only at 20 something, but like right now, as of I'm recording this, I'm at 67, right? So yeah, that's like 47 people at the course of less than a month. Actually, that's just a couple weeks, and it's kind of crazy if you ask me. I got a lot of people, right? So for now, I'm going to maintain this rate, so that I can, climb that mountain a little bit easily, right? Once I'm there, maybe I will do something else, right? But obviously that will be bad for the people that are here, right? Because they expect me to make the same content, right? But I've been saying this since the beginning anyway, that this is not a specific game channel. I make this as a general, right, general topic. Basically, I don't know if that's actually a thing in the category. It's basically a general, like just talking. Basically, you talk, you play, also you talk, you do something, you also talk or discuss. It's all about discussion, basically. And as you can see as well, whenever I play game, I always talk about something there as well, right? So that, as you realize as well, the length of the video is often a little bit too lengthy, right? And that's just how it is, right? Because again, I just want to talk a lot, right? I try to make it short, but at some instances, I just have to make it a little bit long because I really want the explanation to be there, right? So yeah, and this podcast, like this as well, I expect to be a long one, right? I try to make it as short as 20 minutes, but at some points it get extended. It's fine. Like for instance, this one, right? This one's I think already been 30 minutes already. So yeah. Anyway, speaking of that, maybe I should go to talk about something else that I want to mention as well. So we are at the middle, right? So the thumbnail will look like this, I believe, right? This one. I think it will be something like this, if I remember correctly, and the color is green. I think this one's green. This one will be gray, right? I think I will make it like that, or vice versa, right? Or reversed, right? Whatever it is. Um, so what's the plan, right? So chapter one, we talk about a lot of writing like this, right? I use notes, right? Basically all the things that I that I mentioned, that I'm discussing, is things like this, right? I write stuff, and then on chapter two I start using Wikipedia, right? I start discussing a certain topic, right? So the Wikipedia will provide me with article, and then I can discuss about that, right? And then the chapter 3, I kind of want to make it, so this is my plan at first, right? So I kind of want to make it a little bit of short videos, so that will be the first time I will use a lot of short videos, right? And the reason is because I think this can be a trend, right? Like you talk about something in short, right? However, to do that I will need a little bit of editing, right? And the way I plan this is I would use TikTok to edit the thing, and then I will have it ready in only few seconds, right? So the content will be like very short, and then I can put that on YouTube and put that on TikTok as well, right? So here it will show as shorts, right? And then maybe that will bring more people in. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. So we will still have the basically I will still have the lengthy discussion, and then I edit that into shorts, right? Into shorts, and then I will upload that, and then so that people who found this from shorts, they can then look into the video its own, right? So that basically I only put summary into few seconds, right? And then if you're interested, then you go watch this video, right? Which will provide the lengthy material, right? So yeah, so that's the plan, right? Now, why did I say that that's only the plan? Where here's the thing, I planned about that about 1 month ago, back, 1 month back, and that was when I haven't thought about playing the game The Art Survival again. So at that point I don't play this just yet, and I thought about that, right? So maybe that will work. Who knows, right? And then randomly I played the game again, and a lot of people actually enjoying it. So I make a lot of video about that. Even I make daily video about the art survival now, right? So yeah, and then that comes with the problem as well, because I make a lot of that, then I don't have focus on making this, right? Because that requires a lot of editing and a lot of time, a lot of like a lot of thinking as well. And I will not be able to keep up with my daily podcast and daily the art spiral video, right? um and then the SCP as well, and then the other random game as well, right? So those are the main four thing right now. Let's actually list it, right? So the first will be obviously the podcast, the daily podcast, and then after that, the SCP. That will happen every 5 days, I think. So there will be two videos every 10 days. And then after that, I have the game, right? The game will be like every 2 days basically, right? Now these are the main, right? And then I pick they are because people enjoy it, so I make daily about that as well to help up with the channel, right? So I have these four, right? And having the so for 1 week I will have one podcast, one like let's say no, I will have seven podcasts, I will have two SCP, and then I will also have two or three game, and then after that I will have daily day art video. So just count that, right? That is seven, 5, that's already 19, right? So every week I will have to have 19 videos, right? So yeah, that's pretty much three videos every day, and it's kind of difficult, honestly. Like, I also play other games as well, like off cam. I'm not gonna show that just yet. I don't think. Maybe I will, but who knows, right? Well, at least at the time I'm recording this, I'm not gonna reveal that just yet. So yeah, and then I played that game as well. That took time, and then I also need to do with my daily stuff. So basically, there's so much to do, right? And you can say that I'm getting slowly getting burned out um, from doing this, right? But I'm still keeping, I'm still trying, right? I'm trying to make, I think, four at least to 5 or even 6 feet every day, so that I can keep up with that, right? And yeah, that's kind of insane if you ask me, right? Your reaction is probably the same. That's too much, right? Can you not slow down a little bit? I will if not if, but like as time progressed, obviously, I just trying to climb that mountain that I mentioned earlier as fast as I can, right? So that I can make starting, so that I don't always at zero, so that I can make something out of it basically, right? And consider that as a good income for me, right? Especially when I don't have a job as well. So yeah, so that's the goal, right? I want to reach as quick as I can. Once I'm there, I will slow down a little bit, right? I will probably reduce the game from 2 days. Every 2 days, it will be 3 days. The podcast still the same, and then the day hour can probably be like one every 1.5 days or one every 2 days, right? So that I can make a little bit of a breathing, right? So that I can breathe a little bit, and then see, from there, see how things goes, right? Like, and see how the rate as well. Maybe that rate will not be as steep as well, but still, at the end of the day, I can still make something out of it, right? And that's what matters for me. And yeah, so that you know basically helping me to survive in general, right? So that I have something to survive on, right? And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the plan that I have. I do plan to make shorts after this, for the chapter 3, but it seems that that won't happen anytime soon. That probably will happen in chapter 4, who knows, right? I do have plans for chapter 4, but again, I'm not gonna reveal that just yet. Maybe I will reveal that at the end of chapter 3, which will be 3 months from now, right? Even 3 months from now, that will be December, January, February, right? So that will be things in February, and that's already New Year, right? New Year, maybe I will have new resolution, maybe like I will do something else, who knows, right? But I feel like plans will always keep changing, right? And as long as you can improvise, as long as you can hang on to it, I feel like any any changes will not hurt you. You just adapt, right? You just improvise, and then you overcome, right? And yeah, so there's that. So what will be in chapter 3? So I think I can mention that at least for what's gonna happen in chapter 3. So what happened in chapter 3 is that I will make mini series basically. um so it will be like yeah, like miniseries. So you know about the Spooktober, right? Spooktober, I would say that kind of big series. I would say because it's 30 days, right? I will make something like that as well, but this one's mini. So how about mini? The mini will be only 7 days. So I already did this actually with the previous one about the structure, right? About man-made structure. There I talk about pyramid, about Stonehenge, about not sanctuary, about temples, about yeah, like about moai, about basically about structures, right? And I consider that as mini series because I continuously talk about that, right, for 7 days. Now I kind of want. I'm actually enjoying that, at least in my end. So I might actually do that, right? So it's about mini series, right? About 7 days thing. Uh, it doesn't necessarily have to be, starting from Sunday to Saturday or Monday to Sunday. It's not gonna be like that. Maybe I will start at Thursday and then end at Wednesday, right, in the middle of the week. Maybe that's it. But the thing is that the concept is still there. It's about mini series, right? So I will have um, I will have one topic, and then I will have 7 different categories of things, right, to discuss every single day. But all of these will remain in one big topic, right? And that's the mini series basically. So I'm going to do that. Actually, I already keep some. I already have some topics in me, and I think I will do that actually now that we think about it, right? And yeah, that's pretty much the plan. I think this will work because the reason is when I thought about something, usually I also thought about something else that is still kinda in that region, right? So I still think about stuff that are pretty much close to it, right? So when I think about something, then it's still under its gravitational pull of topic, right? So yeah, I can still talk about that, right? And that's what matters, right? And also, this also doesn't mean that I will not do anything else in between. I will still probably do something, right? So let's say this is a 7 day of something, right? And then the next 7 day may start immediately, or there will be like a little bit of a gap, right? Like here I will put some individual videos and then I continue, right? And then so on and so on. So yeah, this depends on how things goes in my end, if things happen as I wish or not, right? If I, wish for something and it's not happening, then I might do, like improvise, right? Like I said, it's all about improvising, right? But the thing is there still, all of these miniseries, it will still be there. So for the next 3 months, right? 3 months, we will have. There is like 4 weeks in every month, so that's pretty much what is it, like 4 weeks every month, so 3 months there will be 12, right? So there will be like at the most there will be 12 mini series, but I kind of doubt, maybe we'll only have like 10 probably, or 11, and that's about it, right? Probably 10 actually. So yeah, so the next 10 weeks we'll have 10 mini series at probably, right, about talking about something, right? So yeah, so there's that. And yeah, so that's pretty much the plan for chapter 3. And yeah, again, this is the end of chapter 2. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the time I'm searching stuff in wiki and then I discuss about it, right? And the mini series will also still rely on wiki as well. The reason why is because those will provide me with article, right? And then so that when I discuss about something, I prepare myself with some kind of knowledge, right? Well, obviously you can't really rely on Wikipedia, but the thing is that Wikipedia is more like the generic knowledge, right? Like it contains everything, all the things that you ask is probably there. So I use this just for convenience, right? So that I don't have to search in the certain or specific website, right? I can just use wiki, and then yeah, basically that will provide me with all those articles, right? So yeah, I will still do that as well. As for the backup, what is it like? pick up knowledge, right, for the article that I'm going to discuss, so that I just don't go in blindly, right? So yeah, there you have it. Is there anything else that I want to mention? I kind of don't think so. I pretty much already talked about everything. I also don't know if anyone's actually going to watch this or not. It's already been 45 minutes already, right? It's kind of lengthy already, but yeah. So yeah, next time we'll actually talk about that. Uh, but yeah, is there anything else? Wait a minute, okay? I'm just trying to see or remember if I want to say something else, right? I kind of mentioned about my job already. I kind of mentioned about the plan about my channel and what's it going to be to the forward, and talk about the plan as well, the original plan that's now not gonna happen anytime soon, and then the next one is about the plan that I will be using, right? From this chapter at least, and yeah. About future, right? So, what do I think about the future? About the 2023 in general? What should I do? I think I'm going to still try to apply for some job as well. Maybe eventually, one of them will got caught into me, right? Got interested to me. Maybe I will be lucky and I got job, right? If I do, I would pretty much say that I will not leave this. I will not leave YouTube. I will still be here. I will still be making contents, right? Even though it's not gonna be as much as now, it's probably still gonna be one every day. There are I kind of want to have something every day up in this channel as well, so that it's not empty, right? At least there's that. Um, and then if I do, then I will probably get some money, right? And then those some money I will try to invest here as well, to buy like proper equipment, like let's say microphone, and then probably like I don't know, like better phone, better recording, maybe a PC setup, like a cheap PC setup, and then what else, like maybe I don't know, like yeah, just for setup, right? Maybe I can make my own studio, right? I can make my own recording room and stuff like that. And maybe I can try for camera as well, right? Like who knows, right? Maybe people want me to show my face as well for some reason. Maybe I'm not sure, right? But yeah, that's the plan anyway. If that's a big if, right? That's a big if I got a job, right? Maybe in 2023. Who knows at this point, right? But yeah, that's just the plan. And if not, then I'm just gonna keep doing this. I also mentioned about this as well, that um, as for now, I value quantity over quality, because I don't have access to quality just yet, right? So that's why I pretty much value quantity over quality, because I don't have that. Like like I say, I don't have any mic, I don't have any proper equipment. So this is pretty much from my phone. So because I don't have high end quality, then therefore at least I can have something which is quantity, right? So yeah, at least there is that. That's like the plus point, right? It's always one or the other, right? You can't really have both. You can, but it will be a little bit balanced, right? But you can't really have one over the other, right? If you want quality, then you won't have as much quantity. But if you don't have access to quality, at least I have some quantity over here. And that's what I'm doing right now anyway. That's why you see a lot of videos every day. It's because I kind of want to make a lot of so that I can spread out a little bit, right? So that maybe by having a longer reach by a lot of videos every day, I can reach out a lot of people, right? Maybe, right? Maybe over here I got two, maybe this one doesn't, maybe this one got one, maybe this one got one as well, and then the rest got nothing, right? So it's more like fishing basically. You don't fish on one spot, right? um, if you put fishing net, basically, if you're a fisherman, I would say, if you want to try to catch a fish, then you put a lot of fishing net on a lot of area, right? That's pretty much what I'm doing. That's quantity over quality, right? The idea is to have as many fish that I can catch. So with that comparison, it will be, or analogy, that will be, I can catch a lot of like audience, right? By having a lot of contents, maybe a lot of people can caught up into one of these, and then they got interested in the channel, right? So yeah, that's the plan anyway. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This been a long video already. It's almost an hour already. I don't want to make this any longer. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of chapter 2. Oh, I kind of forgot about mentioning things that happening in chapter 2 actually. So yeah, just to close off, I guess. What I'm feeling about chapter 2, right? I think I'm pretty much already mentioned this. So, chapter 2 is about wiki, right? About me discussing something with a backup knowledge, right? So that I don't go blind. Now, I really enjoy this because compared to chapter 1, in which I just talk whatever I want to talk, right? And without any, I don't know, like without any support or backup data, right? And pretty much it means that I'm just free talking. But then I realized that I really need some sort of knowledge as well, right? To talk about what I'm talking. So that's why chapter 2 I introduce wiki, right? Because yeah, I kind of want to discuss something but also have the source material as well, and that's about it pretty much. And yeah, that's chapter 2. I really enjoy it so far. Again, chapter 1 is pretty much introduction to me, right? To who I am, to what like everything about me basically. And then chapter 2, now we talk about something, right? With also a material over there as well, which comes mostly from wiki, right? I also use some other website as well, like random website, but um, generally most of the time I use wiki anyway. And for chapter 3, that will still be the same, but this time I will make it into small series, right? So yeah, expect to see some series in chapter 3, and that's about it pretty much. And yeah, I think that'll be it. That's my feeling about chapter 2 so far and chapter 1. And for the whole 365, I can say that I'm actually glad that I start this because, looking back, I don't have anything to do, right? And then at least now I have something, right? Which is just talking, and that's better than nothing, right? Like, I just do this every day, every single day, and suddenly we reach 182, right? That's 100 freaking 80 freaking 2, right? That's a lot of videos already about me talking about stuff, right? And I'm not gonna stop 365. That's the plan. That's the final goal. Um, Now, what's gonna happen if 365 already over, right? Will I make I don't know. Will I continue, right? That's for the future. That's for 6 months from now. That will be the problem or the thing that I should consider. 6 months from now, basically. I'm not gonna say anything because again, plans keep changing over time. I'm not sure if everything that I said today will be the exact same thing in the future, right? So yeah, there's some changes. I'm pretty sure I need to adapt, I need to improvise, I need to overcome, right? So yeah, basically there's that. So yeah, I guess there's that. There is something for sure after this ends. I'm not gonna mention that just yet. That's for 6 months from now, and that's pretty much it. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This has been 1 year 365. I'm glad. I'm enjoying this. I'm also glad if you are also listening to this. And I'm glad that we have finally reached 182 out of 365, which is 50% progress, and we are already halfway there, right? So yeah, there is no reason to go back now. There is no reason to stop in the middle. There is no reason to, yeah, do not continue because we're already covering halfway through. Might as well finish that, right? But yeah, that's the plan. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been 1 year 365. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again very soon, and see ya.